And we are live. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How the devil art thou, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Is It Just Us?
Is it?
Is it?
Not this week.
Well, no, it's not, because this week we are joined by the awesome-tacular Captain Fuckhead. How the devil art thou, Captain?
We have
Awesome-tacular, now that's a fucking word. Imagine having to put that on the... Oh shit, I've got an echo. I'm listening to YouTube as well. Fucking hell. Imagine... I just heard the question again. I was like, what? Imagine the old 60s Batman, and they had to use awesome-tacular instead of pow. To take up the entire screen.
That'd be fucking amazing.
That's what
I would
wanna
love to see that. Someone out there has to get a clip and be like, right, okay, Adobe Premiere, let's see what we can fucking do.
Yeah, I'm hopefully by the end of tonight I'll have a little clip from Still Games. Yeah, that might be quite funny.
Right, well, that out of the way, we'll do the musical interlude.
Here we go.
If you can't beat them, eat them.
Okay.
Yay.
Short, sweet, simple. Jeremy Dahmer's favourite phrasing.
Yummy, yummy.
I can go with that.
Oh, fantastic.
You have to fry them first, though, from where I come from.
Yes. Deep fry.
That's because you guys fucking deep fry everything.
We try.
You try. You succeed
try.
as well.
That's a bit of deep fried haggis on a stick. Can't beat it.
Oh, no, you can't. That's impressive as good haggis. Especially if it's good haggis. Oh, you're all at it already, so cheers, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Cheers. Cheers, good sir. Tink. Oh,
I have.
I should say challenge, but too late now.
I have the clear whiskey.
the clear whiskey, the hard
poutine.
water.
You got poutine? Oh, fucking bird. Small enough. No. I thought you were on about poutine there for a minute.
No. I do vodka.
I was just, if you're on poutine, I'd have given you a big clap. Half of that 60% these days.
I don't want you. I want to fucking clap off you, mate.
Yeah. That's not something you'll get from me. I'll give you something special.
Oh, nice. Nice.
By the time I'm done with it, you'll be able to taste it.
But someone you will get the clap off of. Uh-oh, he's back.
No.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, Wanksock.
How are y'all doing? Who's this guy? How did you fit in the camera? How? Where did you come from? Like, what is that you're wearing?
It's my face.
That's your face.
That's my face.
You look like something that should be in a housewife's underwear drawer. Why?
This is
Why?
because this is fair.
Do you speak in the language of...
No, it's more...
He's scaring me. You scare everyone else.
Yeah, there's
I'm
two
not sure
people
that I
that are
like
scared, and neither of them are in your window, Lucifer.
The sock has been defeated.
I think it's time that Jeremy went away now.
Joe,
In fact, after the last episode, he actually got invited to go out for a night of drinking. Oh,
Lovely.
dear. Oh, dear. I don't want to be around that. Someone will get arrested, and it will be Jeremy's fault.
Was this in one of those venues where you're allowed to go in as long as you're wearing a mask?
No. No.
I still can't.
Been.
I can't get my head around that. They've opened restaurants and you're supposed to wear a mask indoors when you're in other people, but restaurants are open. How do you eat?
No.
Oh no, it's all fucking.
I can't. I
it's
just
all
can't.
crazy.
I can't get my head around it at all.
They're going to make everybody wear a mask, and then once everybody's wearing a mask, they'll say, "Look, we've got a vaccine," and everybody will climb for. They'll go, "Yes, give us the vaccine, so we don't have to wear a mask anymore." And then Bill Gates will have you where he wants you.
There are some promising vaccines, ladies and gentlemen. This is a public service announcement. Oxford has recently vaccinated, I do believe, around 9,000 people with very promising results.
Yeah, I heard something about that earlier, and I was like, huh? I was too tired to like really care. I was like, Oxford facts. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I was in a car listening to the radio. I couldn't be bothered with it either. I was too busy looking out the window.
So, Captain, we have some questions lined up for you, as you are our guest this week.
Yeah, I can do questions.
Okay. So, first, and be glad that Jeremy isn't asking them because they would just go downhill very quickly. I tried him out earlier and I was like, okay, if you were going to ask the captain some questions, what would you start with? And he started with, show me on Fway where I touched you. Which, you know, I was just like, okay, we're not going to let you ask any questions whatsoever, Jeremy. We're just going to put you over.
Jeremy, I'm actually wearing a pair of shorts at the moment, not me boxers. So, not me boxers, not me kilt, so I can't.
So first of all,
I'm afraid I would never take any advice from a wank sock.
No.
I know. I want to see him put it with the washing machine. I bet that sock comes out black.
We can find out if you like. He'll probably come out with no eyes whatsoever, but you know, he's got his own little following going now, though. So,
my word,
I think the best thing that we should start off with is: do you want to explain to people who don't know who you are? Because surprisingly, there are some people out there who don't know who you are. Do you want to let them know? I know, right? I don't understand it, but hey, what can you do? Do you want to let people know who you are and what it is that you do?
I am Scotland's best shit superhero and Comicsgate's best shit artist. Someone has to own that title.
Someone's going to do it.
And you decided that it was you.
Yeah. Look. So, right, okay. So I a lot of people already know, but I guess some of our viewers this evening don't. I was never really into comics when I was a kid. I read a handful of Tank Girl stuff, and that was about it. I was more into films and stuff like that. Well, not stuff like that. I was just more into films. I was a bit of a gamer when I was very young, and then I found film. So much so, in fact, today I have been playing Space Raiders on a ZX Spectrum 48K, fully operational, fully working.
Good Lord.
36 years old and still going.
Fucking hell.
Still going.
You know, that puts us in a similar age bracket.
Yeah, similar, but I'm still younger.
You must be younger than me. There's no doubt. I'm the oldest person here. There's no doubt about that. But it does sort of put you back that far. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. No, I've been around a bit. I've been around the block a few times. Up a couple of wrong alleys.
Phrasing.
Yeah. So I'd been through art college and all that sort of shit and bored the shit out of me. I ended up with a couple of degrees in 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional design, and then went into the industry and went, oh, this is boring. Because it's one of those things where the thing that really annoyed me about it all was when you get a client and their client doesn't know what they want.
Yeah.
You turn up and go, design me a chair. Okay, what sort of chair? What do you want to look like? Because that's kind of important. I don't know. Just need to sit down, and it's annoying. It's that you have to the questions you have to ask to find out what people actually want because they haven't got a clue. So I just walked away entirely, and I hadn't drawn for 16 years, I think it was, until April last year. April last year, but sort of February, March, I found Ethan on the YouTubes because I was angry about Star Wars. Like I said, I was a big film fan, particularly massive Star Wars fan, or was. When Star Wars went wrong, I thought, you know what, I'll try Star Trek, and then watched the wrong ones, and so I'm not a fan of them either now.
No, that all went wrong as well.
Yeah, it went terrible. So I found Ethan, and then all of a sudden he started talking about comics, and I started getting into comics and Comicsgate specifically, and then took part in what's it called, the 100-Day Project.
Yeah, the 100 Days of Making Comics.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's 100 days of doing anything creative. So I just thought, you know what, I used to draw. I'm going to start drawing again. And then it's led me down to this road, into this sort of path now where I've been working on comic books for other people. I've been doing some stuff with my YouTube boyfriend, Comic Mark. I've been working on a couple of other books. I've got some more stuff coming in the pipeline.
Where's my fucking book?
Who, me or Comic Mark?
Commie.
Oh, you'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it. He's saving some till last on purpose.
All right, okay.
Yeah, you'll get
Fair
it.
enough.
I should have brought that. I should have brought that through, shouldn't I? Do you want to give me a second? I can go and get it. Hold on. I'll show you. The best shit cover you will ever see. Hold on.
And he's not lying, folks. He's not lying.
He's not lying. He's not lying. So while we're waiting, you can find me at Comicbook Blackbelt on YouTube. You can find me at russleach.com, comicbookblackbelt.com, and you can find out about my new book, Only Death Can Save Us, which is running along the bottom of the screen at onlydeathcansaveus.com. You can also go to the Indiegogo, which we'll show you a little bit of later.
Fantastic.
You can find Lucifer Storm at luciferstorm.com.
You can indeed. And if you want to check out Captain Fuckhead's YouTube channel, there is a link in the description box down below. And it looks like the Captain is back.
He has some great interviews with some great artists and creators on there. And there's a whole band of merry gentlemen and ladies, indeed, that Mr. Fuckhead, Captain Fuckhead, associates with, and they're all jolly great wheezes. So do check them all out.
Associate. I put them together. I found them. I hunted them all out.
He is like Captain Beanie's. He is the Captain Beanie, isn't he? He's what was that? What was that song? That stupid song when I was a kid. I'm probably too old. Oh, look at that! That is that cover. Shit cover. That's great. That's fantastic.
But
that's great.
That is fucking wonderful, and I love the campaign for that book. Just some of the tears on it are just.
The campaign absolutely sold me. It was so bloody funny. It's great to have some humor comics, like sort of Viz-esque kind of stuff being done as well. It's typical that it would come from the Brits.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're talking about this little merry band of men and lady, so he's talking about CG UK. Actually, none of that would have occurred if it wasn't for this book. So I heard some people reading this live on a live stream with Comic Mark in presence, and I said to myself, I need to meet this Comic Mark character.
All right.
No, they were reading Not Daredevil, part of Not Daredevil,
yes,
which is his next campaign, and I thought I need to meet this guy.
Yeah.
So we found a way of hooking up on the Twitter, and now we're YouTube boyfriends. And we did this together. So he had already written this. I did the cover, which was originally a Captain Marvel cover. So he was coming over the mountain. So all of this bit down here, that's all re-inked digitally, all recolored. But he was coming over the top like this, and right here it said there, Captain Marvel comes to slap the Japs. And no word of a lie. That was the cover. It just said right there. It just said slap the Japs. So we replaced him with glorious leader Kim Il Sung, and of course he's more magical and more powerful than Thanos because he can snap without the glove.
Snapping his finger. Brilliant.
You see.
So you've mentioned Comicsgate UK, right? So do you want to elaborate on what the difference between Comicsgate and Comicsgate UK is? If there is any, of course.
Well, there really isn't a difference. Like what CG UK is just a bunch of people who are into Comicsgate and what Comicsgate sort of stands for, and non-censorship and all that sort of stuff. We just happen to be in the UK or UK citizens. Like that's it. There really is. We've had this discussion with the people in Comicsgate. There is no difference. We are part of Comicsgate. We just
if anyone's watching this who isn't Comicsgate, please go and seek out people who are Comicsgate and talk to them.
Yes,
don't just make an opinion about them. Go and talk to them. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I bumped into these guys, not knowing anything about them being CG or otherwise.
I mean, to be fair, I pretty much just commandeered Ross for mine. I found you. You're mine now.
And they're just genuine. They're just Brits, and they've got great sense of humour, the British sense of humour. So any of you Americans out there, if you're insulted by us, just don't take any notice of it. It's just the way we are. All right. The only way I can explain it to anyone who understands what Carry On films are is that the group is actually called Carry On Comicsgate, and it pretty much says everything you need to know. If you know anything about Carry On films, about British humour, it's basically poking everyone in the eye and saying, fuck it, it really doesn't matter. You know, like, it doesn't matter if you're Comicsgate, it doesn't matter if you're not, it doesn't matter. You're an indie creator, you're out there, and you don't want to be censored. Yeah? And it's like we were talking about, Lucifer, about, outlaw comics. It's just, you're out there, you're doing your thing. And bearing in mind what's happened over the last 24 hours with what we've seen go on with Dynamite, and again, I'm very much from a business perspective. It's like you should be out there getting as much talent as you can and selling to as many people as you can. And don't let politics or anything like that get in the way. What's going on at the moment? What has been going on is effectively restrictive practice. And if it wasn't freelance people, it would be illegal. Because you're not allowed to stop people from trading their wares. You're not allowed to stop people from running a business. It's illegal to do that. And I'm just stunned at the shit that's going on in the comic industry at the moment. Absolutely stunned.
Yeah.
So sorry, I took a curveball there. Just to say, these guys are honest, decent people, and they're just out there trying to make comics. That's all that I've got from them so far.
You know what? Like everything that's going on in entertainment in general, but we'll add comics and Comicsgate into this. It just reminds me so much of the Video Nasty era, where you had groups of people coming along, picketing and going, "Oh, these bloody horror films! They're doing so much damage to people," and they really weren't, but they were just hell bent in ruining people's lives until they got what they wanted.
Yeah.
And that's what I've seen as well. Like I've heard both sides of the argument, okay. And over the past 6 months, maybe even more, actually, definitely a lot more than that, anyone that I've spoken to who has been from Comicsgate has been nothing but nice to me. They've been very pleasant and been like, "So, what are you doing? What are you up to? Glad you're creating something." And the other side is just instantly like, "How dare you? I don't know you, but you're a racist, a homophobe, a fucking what?" If you could put phobe or is to it, they're like, "We're gonna fucking throw that to you." And it's like, fucking hell, all I did was just show up. I haven't even said hello yet.
I mean, I am an ist, to be honest, but I'm a phobist.
I'm a phobist. These are the same people.
Istophobe. That's a guy like istophobe. That's way better.
These are the same people that would have tried to have banned Life of Brian back in the day.
Yeah.
So they're exactly the same kind of people, and you just think, stop it now. Yeah. And I always thought of myself as a centrist. I said to the captain when I first met him, it's like, I don't label myself as anything. I don't like labeling myself. But it seems to me, it's like at the moment, if you do anything but what they want you to do, then you're obviously a Yahtzee. You know? Yeah. It's just, so you get driven one way because if you've got any kind of critical thinking or mind of your own, well, you're obviously some kind of fascist.
I mean, one of the first things Russ actually said to me was, "I don't like labels. They're only the ones of my name in my pants."
Yes. Because then I know. Because I never know where I've put the last pair,
If you want, look, I can give you a little example of what the CG UK. I can't share it with you because it's got numbers and stuff and it's confusing.
Right.
So CG UK, as a whatever we are, as a collection of people, we've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books out this year. Not on the all individual people doing the books. None of this is a publishing house by any stretch of the imagination. And we've amassed almost 1,500 backers, 1,500 in British, and we are almost about to cross raising 45,000 glorious British pounds between us.
Fucking amazing.
That's impressive, really impressive.
Absolutely.
This is the most successful book so far.
I am not surprised.
This is done.
Mary Boy's fabulous.
Working, is it? Look, book. Green fucking screen. Chubb and all is grey. That don't work.
I have those books. They are fabulous.
You mean these?
Do you know what? Do you know what? If you have these books, I'll show you a thing. I'll show you a thing. So I talk about drawing, and in a year. But bearing in mind, Chubb published this a little bit while ago now. So there was one of my first drawings. It's a piece of fan art.
Oh, right.
Awesome.
In this very book. You own these. You own these in your books.
Yeah,
I followed that up. I still don't understand why he published this one. I think he just did it to piss me off. But then I followed that up with that fella.
That one.
All right. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I
didn't realise that was you. Fantastic.
That is me.
Right, and so
it's true. I can draw.
Yeah, open declaration that at present the captain has 2 of my pin-ups for Only Death Can Save Us and is colouring them.
Oh,
it's true.
It's true. It is true. So I have a guest colourist and 4 guest artists for pin-ups. I've secured Rob Willis, who is a fabulous artist. But also Mike Emirates, Renzo Rodriguez, who I've worked with in the past, and he's worked with Zach or whatever it is.
Yeah, boy.
He also works with Zenoscope, and also Amrit Birdie, who did Username Eve. He does loads and loads of marketing stuff. And my point is a diverse range of people coming together and putting stuff in my book, you know?
Yeah.
And I wanted to have some of that. I mean, also, obviously, I've got Mike Summers, who's colouring, who has absolutely nothing to do with any of this, but he's a fabulous colourist, and he works for Unstoppable Comics quite a lot, who I do a lot of work for. So I just think, you know, indie creators should all just be on the same page. You know,
absolutely.
It shouldn't be restricted, especially by the mainstream. And so it was great to bump into the captain, great to bump into all the guys and gals over there, and it's definitely enriched my environment without that.
Yes, same here. And one thing that I love that you guys do is you are continually shilling books.
Yes,
you're continually going, okay, check out this book, this book. What do you think is from your perspective, what is the most rewarding part about shilling out other people's books and promoting CG UK?
Absolutely fuck all.
Brown paper.
Means nothing to me at all.
Absolutely nothing. You're just like, fuck it, I'm just doing this to pass time.
So for me, because what Comicsgate has given me, so like I say, it got me back into drawing. It's gotten me into comics. As Russ said there, I'm now learning to color digitally, which is something I never thought I would ever get into, because at university, when they went, come on, use AutoCAD, it's great fun, you don't have to use a pencil, I'd stab them in the eye with my pencil. Fucking no, I hate computers. I've got no time for them whatsoever when it comes to making artwork. But I've been lucky enough to bump into some really, really good guys through Comicsgate. A guy called Spartan Scotsman, a guy called Inkspots, Simon Simpothier. All these guys have been helping me out, learning to colour. Me shilling books is me giving back, because people are giving stuff to me and helping me out. And like I say, I've been working with Comicbook. I've got another book coming up with Comicbook called Not Daredevil, which is due. Mailing list is due. I think the mailing list is up, actually.
It is up. Yep.
Fantastic.
So we've got a hell of a lot of work to do that, because we've got to strip out all the stuff and then recolor everything for the way and re-letter everything. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I've been working with Liam Gray, Spartan Scotsman, and another fantastic artist called Odie. I can't say his name because he's Greek.
Avocado.
That's Preston Avocado.
Oh, Preston Avocado. Sorry.
Preston Avocado. Odie is 20 years old. He's built like a brick shit house.
Yeah.
Like a very, very sexy boy. And his artwork is insane. His ambition in life is to be the greatest mangaka on the planet.
Oh, right. That book looks fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Really
good. And the stuff that you've seen, that's the dregs, that's the rubbish parts that's being shown off. Like, Odie's going back and redrawing some of this now.
Right.
Fucking hell. So he's one hell of a perfectionist when it comes to his artwork then.
It's not just that. In a year, he's got so much better. It's not about perfection. When he originally did them, he's like, that's fine, it's good. If that passes, Liam's happy, everything's good. And he's looking back and going, I can draw that better now.
That's the thing, is that when you're doing it all the time, the thing that I noticed most when I got back into drawing was that just doing it every day. I was fortunate enough to be able to start this part of my career in 2010 with some financial security behind me, so I could take low-paying jobs and I could take risks. And so having that every day, being that person every day, having that job every day, made a massive difference to my work. I cringe at the stuff I did in 2012, but it's all there. It's all part of a journey, and you've got to put the 10,000 hours in. There's no doubt about it. And once you get to that point, and of course, doing a book of that size, he will have put a huge number of hours into it. So by the end of it, it'll be going, oh my God, I'm better than this now.
200, 200 pages. Like I say, he's already redrawing some of it, and he's working on the next book, William.
Oh, brilliant.
They just go.
Brilliant.
That's fantastic. So, when are we going to see a comic book that is full of just your artwork? Not just a cover, not just a pin-up, but from cover to cover, it is all illustrated by yourself.
I think that's probably some time away, if I'm completely honest. But I'm not worried about that. At the same time, it's not something that I feel pressured to do at the moment. I want to do it. I've got 3 or 4 ideas that I think could be a hell of a lot of fun to play with. One of which I actually I don't want to write it either. Yeah, I'll speak to you later about that, Lucifer, because I think you might have a good brain for that one.
Hey, that's cool. I'm always up for things like that. Yeah. So I don't particularly like reading, which is one of the reasons why I really like comics now. So because I'm heavily dyslexic. Like the whole mantra of show don't tell is right up my alley. That's perfect for me. It's why I like films, because I don't have to read it. So I just when I say I'm dyslexic, I can say it properly. It's a proper word. It exists. I describe it as being a dick lipstick because it's far easier to remember.
Just another reason for comics to exist, because they are notorious for being good for dyslexics. But they're just an immense reading tool, and that's without being an arsey education book. Do you know what I mean? They educate without needing to be educational. You don't need educational books. You don't need children's books or children's comics, should I say. Just make a good story and don't talk down to anyone. What we were doing when I was doing Doctor Who was it was designed for 8 to 15-year-olds. But, you didn't sort of cut the long words. You didn't cut the story. You made it. And just like when I was a kid, when I was reading Bronze Age books, if there was a word in there I didn't know, I went out and looked it up. But, back before the internet and you had dictionaries, I did go and look stuff up. And I did, and it built a vocabulary for me, and it led me. It was the gateway drug into reading novels. So just comics are just so damn important, and they shouldn't be lost, and they should certainly not be lost to crap stories.
No.
Yes.
That's
or crap art.
Which there is a lot about.
Yeah.
There's a lot about.
That's with what's going on in the industry now. That's my biggest bugbear. Like, crap stories are crap stories. Like, that's fine. Crap stories have always existed. There are just go into, if you want to know where the best crap stories are, go into your local Tesco, go into your local Asda, go into your local Sainsbury's, go and buy a book for 99p. Give that author 0.5% of a penny. Thanks for reading their shitty book.
Yeah, true.
If you want a really good story, go to Waterson's, go to a bookshop and buy a book from a bookshop.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So you're right. I mean, art is the most annoying things is seeing. So here's an absolute brilliant example. If you look at Narwhal's books, they are very simplistic.
Art boner.
They've got an absolutely fabulous style to them. He's got a superb sense of storytelling, which is what comics is really about, storytelling. from panel to panel, sequential art. But it's super simple, simplistic, should I say. Absolutely fabulous. And then you'll see a comic from one of the mainstream where it looks literally like somebody's picked up one of those pamphlets from the NHS, or how to put this up your arse, or how to find the exit door on a plane.
How to die safely on an aeroplane. They're my favourite pamphlets.
It's got no life in it whatsoever. No vibrancy, no energy, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's not to do with the amount of lines on a page, for Christ's sake.
No.
It's to do with the energy in the storytelling. And I think Narwhal is a perfect example of that, where you see so few lines on a page, and yet it's just brilliantly done. His colour, everything.
You've brought up probably one of my favourite. Like, I'm a proper fanboy for Narwhal. Like, I remember seeing Earth.
Sorry, go on.
I remember seeing Earthbound for the first time, the first few pictures on the campaign, and going, nah, this isn't for me. It was like a kid's drawn it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go and check him out. I'm going to go check his YouTube channel out. Narwhal, now, for me, his proper name is Professor Narwhal. He studies storytelling. And if you go and watch his YouTube channel, so it's Narwhal Books, I believe it is. I would drop the link, but Lucia still hasn't given me a fucking wrench. He has just streams where he's just talking about how you tell stories, and he uses both comics and film and animation as examples about how good storytelling is done. And the other thing with Narwhal is he also studied animation. So when he came to doing his very first book, which is available on Amazon, I believe, called Machete Squad. If I'd known, I could have had them all. I could have shown you them all. He had to do that as a very, very quick book. He didn't really have much time. It's a book that was written by an ex-medic serviceman who served 2 tours in Afghanistan. And it was about that experience of being there. And he had very, very little time to draw it. So he just sort of developed what we now know as Narwhal out of necessity and speed, because it had to happen. And he drew on the training he'd had at animation at university, and basically plugged that into comics. And then we have, probably in my mind, definitely top 5 artists in Comicsgate, easily. Easily. And when you consider that most artists in Comicsgate are generally better than mainstream artists these days, that shoots him way up a ladder real quick. And you mentioned Rob Willis earlier on. Rob, again, he drew comics as a kid. Walked away from it after a while. We had had an interview, I think, of something with Marvel, and then kind of just went. And now he's come back, been drawn back into it. Pun. He's been brought back into comics, and if you haven't seen Rob Willis's artwork yet, you must see. Go Willis Who at Willis Who on Twitter.
And buy his book.
Must see art.
Absolutely brilliant.
His book is Shinobi Sasquatch, with written by Mr. Cal Jameson.
Superb.
So, excuse me. Sorry. So, as someone who's got into comics later than a lot of people, because most people I speak to who are into comics are all like, yeah, I got into it when I was a kid. I was someone who got into it when I was a kid, and so on. So as someone who's come into it later in life, if you met someone who liked the comic book movies, but they didn't read comics, what comic book would you recommend for them to start off with to give the medium a try?
The same one I was recommended with by a YouTuber you may know by the name of Mr. Doomcock.
Hey, Doomcock.
Good old Doomcock.
Hi, old Doomcock.
I've said this on many... Oh, hail Harvey, if you're going to hail Doomcock.
Yeah.
I've said this on many, many occasions. The Joker is my favourite superhero, so start with the Killing Joke.
Fantastic choice.
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic choice. I don't think anyone can go wrong with that book whatsoever.
Nope. And you can get it in nice, sexy hardback now as well. It's just
and you can get the hardback noir edition as well, where they've stripped all the colours, so it's just the inks and the lettering and stuff.
I think I might get that because I'm a bit of a Bolland fan. But I've got the original book.
I think I might get that because I can, if I can find it in paperback, I can scan it in and practice colouring.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
What was great about that book was that you were in an era of decompression. They were taking heroes. Deconstruction. Sorry, they were taking heroes apart. But that book, it was serious. It was dark, but it still had the essence of Batman in it.
Yeah.
It was still classic Batman. It had everything. It was such a good book.
And you didn't get to the end of that book and was like, oh my God, I feel so depressed from all the deconstruction. You got to the end and you were like, there was some dark shit in there, but I had fun. I had a good time reading this book.
It ended on a joke. It made you smile at the end. It ended on a joke.
Exactly.
Also, if you do go and read The Killing Joke, be sure then afterwards to go onto the Amazons and get the Blu-ray. The animated version is really cool too. I don't like the first 15 minutes; is a bit weird, but I will say that Mr. Star Wars,
Mark Hamill,
Luke Skywalker. He's a real man.
He's a real person.
No, I didn't say he wasn't.
The same way I am, of course, Scotland's best superhero. He is the universe's best Jedi.
Yeah,
no exceptions.
No.
He's also a fucking damn good Joker.
Yes. Best Joker.
That shadow.
I've got a thing. I love the animated series from the 90s.
Yeah, I've not watched that. I
have a cell on my wall. That is just so cool.
I need to go back on that.
You're right about that Killing Joke film. I watched that and I was quite impressed by it, I have to say.
Yeah, the first 15 minutes where they kind of had the story out, it's a bit, can't bother with that. But once the story gets going, it's...
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, well, once you get past that whole Batgirl thing that they did, and it actually starts where the book starts, it's fantastic. But I didn't really like the ending. I didn't feel that the ending made it ambiguous enough. And that's one thing I liked about the book, the ambiguity, where when it came to the end of it and having all those theories, like when Grant Morrison came out and said, well, no, Batman killed the Joker. That's why the laughter stops. That's why it's the Killing Joke. You can only really get that from reading the book and not the animation.
Yeah, that's true. But when you look at some of the animated stuff that's coming out of DC and coming out of Marvel at the moment, and you can buy it on Blu-ray for... literally £1.30 or something second-hand these days.
Well, funnily enough, I've got this little Blu-ray box set of The Killing Joke that comes with a little Joker figure. I got this for about £5.
Oh, do you want a figure? I'll give you a figure.
Oh, will you now?
One of my since recently, one of my favourite new superheroes.
Back up a bit. Oh, hello.
Mr. Red Sun.
Fantastic. Right. Absolutely fantastic.
It's not that fantastic because it came like yours. It came...
did it come with the animated Red Sun?
Yeah, and then when you read at the bottom of it, it says made in China, and then you realise that when you put it flat, he looks half drunk. He doesn't stand... so much so, I have to have blue tack on the bottom to keep him standing up on me behind me.
To balance him out a bit.
But they ruined that film. That was such a great movie, and then the last 15 minutes was just fucking American capitalist propaganda. I can't explain it any other way. It just ruined the film.
To be fair, DC have done so many great animated movies, but I haven't really enjoyed some of the latest ones that they've been putting out. Like when they put out Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, sat down to watch that and I walked away going, what's the fucking point? If that's the ending you're going with, what was the fucking point of doing this in the first place?
Yeah, but the advantage is you can get them all for shit cheap. Like they don't cost.
Yes.
If you go onto Amazon, they cost next to nothing. You can buy yourself a good old fucking 2-hour film for what, £2-3? And I guarantee one of the things that I've found, because my DC collection is way bigger than my Marvel collection when it comes to any sort of cinema, because I hate the Marvel films. But no matter, even if it's DC animation, you don't particularly enjoy it, there'll be something in there that you'll go, I can learn from that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
and that alone is worth the investment. Like animation to me, when I watch animation now, my coloring brain switches on. Like that's how I watch animation now, because it's so simple. I love the word terminal line. I know most people would think that that's some sort of an ending line in the London Underground, but most of us who don't live in London don't care about your terminal line. The only terminal line we care about is the shadow that falls down the face.
Yes.
And I'm watching that now, and my brain goes, "Oh, I could do so much with that. This looks like fun. Do some things."
Right. So, if you could have dinner with any 3 comic book legends, living or dead, which 3 would you choose and why?
Do they have to be actual human people?
No.
Which,
no, they don't. Let's make it interesting by saying no, they don't have to.
Good. I think you just broke Russ.
So I was thinking you were thinking of authors or creators, but you're not. You're just thinking of anything.
My brain went straight to a couple of characters.
Any comic book legends. So the legends can be pencilers, inkers. It could be a character. It's up to you.
Whatever.
If I could have dinner with them, I'd like to have a chat with Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Simply just because I like it. He's so fucking effervescent. He's got so much energy. It can't help but rub off on me. I don't want Stan Lee to rub off on me. No, that's not true. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that you can't help but get you excited about the thing that he's excited about, and I think that would be a fun. I think I'd also like to hear a little bit more from him about, from his words, how he sort of started everything and moved everything in the direction that he did, because it's a fascinating man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's happened to him pre and post passing is just awful. Like it really grinds my gears. That
we haven't got to that section yet. Hold on.
It hurts. It hurts, doesn't it, when you think about Stanley?
It does.
And what? Yeah.
People selling his blood in vials, like that is vile. Excuse the pun. So I'd really like to have a chat with Saltire, if you know who Saltire is.
Can't say I do.
That's the Scottish comic book, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember the fucking guy's name who made it. It'd be Max something.
Wasn't it a woman?
No, it was a bloke.
Oh, right, okay.
It was a bloke. I've got the book. Again, if I'd known about these, I would have had everything here I could have shown you. These are comic, Scotland's first superhero. He beat me to it. Fucker. But I love that book. It's a great, great book. It's one of the... when I started getting into comics, of course, I don't sound like I'm Scottish, but I am. You cut me and I bleed tartan. It's true.
Were you born in Scotland?
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. So you spent most of your time somewhere down south.
I was farmed out for education purposes. A lot of fucking good that did me.
Yeah.
Sitting here in a fucking plastic mask.
Could be worse. You could have the sock puppet, mate.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to tell you what I do with that. But I've lived all the way up and down the UK. I've been in northern England. I've been just above London. I've been in London for a bit of time. I spent a lot of time in the Midlands. So I've the type of education I had. They go no accents, not allowed to speak with an accent unless it's RP.
Yeah, I could sense a little bit of pot noodle in your accent. So.
Pot noodle?
Bit of Midlands.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been. I know the Midlands very, very well. Isn't that right, Doug? All right, Bab.
All right. There's no Gary Bovril.
Yeah, Mark will love that. So Saltire is a character that I'd like to sit down with, just because I think it'd be interesting. And if you know the story of Saltire, it's a great story. It's a great book. I just think it'd be. I'd like to
get hold of it.
It's really. You can buy you can buy a trade paperback on Amazon now for about a tenner, and it's the whole story.
Nice.
But what I'd really like to do is tell Saltire, have the conversation with him about what's happening now in the comic book industry, and then just leave him, then just walk away and let him get on with it.
Let him get on with it. He'll do it. He'll get his big sword out.
Then
that fixes everything.
Well, his walloper, yeah, he'd leave his sword in the back, just get his walloper out.
Whack that on the table. How many 2 pences does that? Right.
Yeah, we've got one more. We've got one
more. While you're thinking, in the chat, Marsh is here. Hello, Marsh.
Hello.
Evening,
Lovely
Marsh.
to see you.
Devil out though.
He's totally disillusioned right now. He thought that Brits were supposed to be more polite and proper. Fuck that.
What?
Those are stereotypes. Those are stereotypes.
And CB Smallwood said Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, and Chuck Dixon, which I think is a very good.
What's happening, CB? I've not seen you kicking around in a while. He's a good bloke. I like him a lot.
Evening, CB. He is a good bloke indeed.
Yeah,
we'll have to
like
try and
him
get him on the show at some point.
Hurry up with Wildcats. Hurry up with Wildcats.
Yes. And I'd also like to point out this incredible statement about Jeremy from a Mr. Tony, also known as Too Far Tony, has joined us this evening. I'm not going to...
I can see why you call him Too Far.
Everyone loves Too Far Tony, mate. Everyone loves him.
He's not Bradley's brother, is he?
No.
Sir Bradley. Sir Bradley. Sir Too Far Tony Wiggins.
Oh, yes.
Go on, give us your third, Captain.
Go on, Captain.
Like, I'd love to say somebody like EVS. Because, again, I'm new to comics, but I'm not going to say EVS. I'm going to say probably one of my favourite people I've met in Comicsgate. Again, another guy that gives me a hell of a lot of encouragement and a hell of a lot of push and a lot of insight into what's going on, and that is Mr. Peter Gilmore.
Yes. Good call. Good call. Well, that brings us to your final question. This is a question that we ask everyone. And before I bring up the scoreboard, I think it's best that I note that...
That's easy. That's easy.
Oh,
no hawk for me all day long.
Oh, bless you, good sir. But you may change your
storm.
mind. You may change your mind because someone, whilst I wasn't looking, tampered with the scoreboard. Now, can you guess who that was?
Russ.
What I really like is how Jeremy managed to put glasses on. He drew glasses on Russ, but if you look at the top, there already are glasses on his head. Yes, apparently Jeremy doesn't like me for some reason. I like the fact that he gave you a little love heart. He clearly has a thing for you, Russ. Clearly has a thing for you.
I've got a massive doobie as well on the go. A massive
Oh, that's a spliff. Okay, I went.
Well,
I just guessed.
Knowing Jeremy, it could be anything. So, would you like to change your answer, good sir, or do I have to mark myself up?
Storm.
Bless you and your cotton socks.
Cock.
That's not where I'm going to bless you, mate.
Captain Cock.
So that's another one for me. So far, Jeremy's in the lead, regardless. But so far, I'm overtaking as the Is It Just Us 2020 champion. This could change with every guest that we...
Jeremy looks a lot like Keith Lemon.
Crying while he apologises for his past sins.
Oh, fucking hell.
I
mean, if any one of us you would expect would just go, no, fuck it. But no.
You'd think it was him. Yeah, but no.
He bent the fucking knee. Whoa,
and I don't quite understand. I mean, I'll probably get shot down for this. I don't quite understand because the whole point was that you had like big masks on.
Yeah.
They weren't, it wasn't really colouring yourself up as such. They were just big masks. But I don't know. Isn't it just like being isn't it just like having puppets or something? I don't know.
No, you can't call them puppets. You can't call them puppets anymore.
Can you?
No.
Oh, fuck that.
Well, you can. It's just that some people get pissed off. Fuck them.
Fuck 'em.
Yep.
That's what I say. Fuck them. Who cares? Let them get pissed off.
I think what's going on at the moment is everything's gone too far, as we all know. But it's seeped out into things like Parliament and the general public. So the normies are now seeing what's going on. For the last 5 years, it's basically been Twitter and a few celebrities getting cancelled.
No, it's not. Not
and now it's seeping out into the general public.
Not up here, it's not, mate.
But you got the SMP in charge, haven't you?
That's not that. That's not the that. See, now you're making me. I feel like a broken robot. Look, I'm classed as a terrorist by Westminster. I don't mind. That's fine. You can call me what you like. It doesn't fucking have any effect on my life, you fucking morons. But you're right. We do have the SMP in charge, and until I get what I want, I'll keep voting for them. Otherwise, but everything else, fuck them. There's some shit that's going down now. The recent Scottish hate speech bill.
I know. It's hideous. And the whole the thing about having some kind of guardian, an official government guardian for your child.
Oh, that's gone. No, that very quickly got.
That was a hideous law, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, I mean, if I could have voted, I obviously I'm in England, but if I could have voted for Scottish independence, I would have.
Quite right.
Because as far as I'm concerned, the whole fucking thing needs a kick up the backside.
Yeah.
It all needs a kick up the back. It's all wrong. But fighting it from a Marxist perspective, where you say burn everything to the ground, that ain't gonna work.
No, it's gonna work for money.
You got to come somewhere in between, you know. And I've been an anarchist since I was a kid, but you know, sort of mildly anarchist, not full on, but you know, not liking the way the system works, not liking the way things are, that they're always unfair. But there are ways around doing it. And often, some of the best ways of doing it is working your way into the system and working from the inside out.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
I mean,
absolutely.
British politics is a very fucking complicated beast. Like it's people look at American politics and go, "Oh, that's complicated. I don't understand what the college gate is." Well, it doesn't fucking matter. There's a two-tier system. It's a two-party system. That's it. That's how it works. It's not quite first past the post, but it's not that complicated. Yeah. But the issue that we have in the UK is that we're a union of countries. We're not a country.
No, yeah.
And I think one of the biggest issues is none of the individual countries actually understand the other individual countries from a cultural perspective.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the weirdest thing. Like, we've been in a union for nearly 500 fucking years, and we still don't understand that Moristan sings shit. At least when we do it, we lay a couple of fucking swords down. We could lose toes.
I've only ever done that with brooms, mate. Never with swords.
No, it's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it.
Only way to do it. Lose a toe.
But look, it's British politics is horrendously complicated, especially because it's London centric. It's all based around the southwest, the southeast.
That's hideous.
That's the only place in the UK that actually matters. And if you think otherwise and you live out with that area, you're wrong. It's all about London, Kent, Sussex. The rest of us are completely irrelevant. We don't matter.
Yeah.
And
so is that what's
that's worth fighting for.
But you know, the problem is that it's a divide and rule situation, isn't it? Divide and conquer situation. Like we're constantly being divided. You've got a bunch of brainless, gormless idiots running around at the moment, shouting at the sky falling in, suggesting that the rest of us are wrong just by being silent. It's not about race or sexuality. It's about class. It always has.
It's
been about class.
There's three types of people in the world. There's the people that run the world, who have all the fucking money. Then there's the professionals, class 2, that class 1 need, i.e. architects, doctors,
lawyers.
All those people that they need to run businesses, to make sure everything legally is passable and control governments, etc. And then you have the third type of people, which I'm dare say is like the three of us, the grunts, as I like to call them. We matter not. We cut the grass. We draw the comics. We do whatever we fucking want to do, and none of us matter at all.
No, exactly.
And everything that's going on in the world at the moment is entirely about class. It's got nothing to do with race, or any of that shit. It's got nothing to do with sexuality. All it is people who are in our group, our lower class group, are fed up of it. We want some change.
And we're fighting each other.
Yeah.
Because we're being misdirected.
Yeah.
Some people
they're picking the wrong battles because they're not.
Yeah.
Basically, they're picking the wrong battles because they're not smart enough to realise. But that's because the education system doesn't educate them to realise.
No critical thought whatsoever.
Yeah,
you can see I'm a rabbit hole of all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like I deep dive into that all the time.
The education system is a sausage factory made to send people out there not to question and pay tax. That's it.
Yep. It's to fit into the system. That's all it ever has been.
Yeah, that's all it ever has been. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I just want to quickly
see eye to eye. No wonder I like you.
Oh no! Look, I'm a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories of all varieties. And that was it. Brianna? Did I say Brianna there? Was it?
Yeah, that was.
Well, hello.
Brianna. Just want to say hello, Brianna. How are you doing? How the devil art thou? Hopefully you are keeping well. So, gentlemen, shall we move it on to Russ's favourite segment? Unless we've already covered that unintentionally.
I think we pretty much covered it, haven't we? What grinds my gears this week?
What grinds your gears?
Everything.
Fucking. Why am I not surprised? What
Dynamite
about you, Captain?
Comics. Dynamite Comics kicking themselves in the balls.
Kicking themselves in the nuts. What is that about?
It is so fucking stupid.
Restrictive practice is an evil. It just is. And it doesn't matter where you're coming from, what you think, what your ideology is. I don't care where it's coming from. You should not restrict people from going about their business. Yeah. And it's wrong to do it.
If you don't know what we're talking about, we have this little guy in Comicsgate called Cecil. If you don't know who Cecil is, where the fuck have you been? If you're not into
who was that? Who was that guy who used to be in the films with Burt Reynolds? Dom DeLuise.
There we go.
DeLuise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cecil is Dom DeLuise for comics.
Yes.
It's that simple.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
Like, if you go and watch any Cecil stream, he's usually drunk. I've seen him fall off his chair on countless occasions. He's a very, 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 very sharp, very clever, very witty.
Yeah. He's a comedian.
I don't think if you put him on a stage, he'd fall flat.
No, he's a natural comedian.
Probably down to alcohol, but on YouTube, like, he's very, very funny. And he's a big supporter of indie comics. He's a big supporter of Comicsgate. He's had his own book out, if you haven't seen that, called Cash Grab, which is drawn by a fantastical? That's Lucifer, putting words in my head again. Fantastic artist called Donald DeLay. And Cash Grab looks like a phenomenally funny book. And it's about Cecil becoming a superhero. And if you don't know what Cecil looks like, I started a painting of him the other day.
That's a far scarier version of...
And look, you'll like this. It's a hardback version.
Oh, fantastic. This was a drawing.
Great, mate.
I did do the drawing ages ago. I can show you the drawing. The original drawing. There you go. That's what Cecil looks like.
Yes, I've seen that.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, I can draw. It's true.
Yeah, you can.
I can actually draw.
You can.
But yeah, Cecil's a fucking legend, and Dynamite cancelled his variant cover for a Vampirella and Rod Sonia book.
Basically, Dynamite have been playing with getting people to do variant covers for them, and they've actually been playing with CG people. Most of it EVS, because apparently the guy who's in charge of Dynamite has known Ethan Van Sciver for an awful long
friends,
time. They're personal friends, and kind of that's how the relationship started. So it seems to me that, much like you were talking with Rotten earlier on, Captain, that either he got greedy or he just went too far, and he got jumped, basically got dogpiled by a whole bunch of people. There were a few people that said, "Oh, I'm not working for you anymore," that are apparently at the end of their contracts anyway.
Yep.
So there's no skin off their nose that they left.
Yeah.
And there was a big deal made out of it. It was basically cancel culture again.
Yep.
And instead of this guy at Dynamite going, "Well, okay, fine, you do you, I'll do me. I'm going to push this," he stopped it. He just cancelled. They cancelled the book. Now, I have heard a theory that it may be that Gail Simone in some way was able to talk to the IP holders of Red Sonja. That is that's a completely speculation. But that you could understand how that might be something that might curtail him from a business perspective. I could understand why he might walk back on that. But then Red Sonja is only selling like 13,000 issues anyway. It's not like we're doing huge numbers here, but Doctor Who got cancelled for me at 10,000. So I don't know how they make money on half these books anyway these days.
One of the funniest things I've seen in the whole thing was I can't remember her name. Is it Erica Schultz? I think it might be. Is that a real person? I think that's a real person. She had done a variant cover for Vampirella, and I saw a screenshot of one of her campaigns that had said 7 days left. And then she changed some of the picture, and it had a little caption saying funded in 3 hours, and then you see it and it says 6,000 worthless American dollars, and then there was a snapshot of Cecil's which said 27 days left, funded in an hour, 10,000 useless American dollars. And she was one of the people berating Dynamite. She was one of the people going after them on social on Twitter. And that to me, like, I can't get my head around that. Like, Dynamite have paid you for the fucking commission. Your campaign's still active.
The
and you're going to go after your employer, not so much employer, but you know what I mean. Like, it's just fucking wrong.
I think some of this cancel culture is in fact jealousy and stepping on other people. There's very little of it as ideology. A lot of it is stepping on other people to get where you want to be.
I think there's a bit more to it than that, because where cancel culture is so prevalent at the moment, and I will say it because I've said it before, fuck cancel culture completely. I think you often find people I just
have to say, just don't say it like Mark Waid, because that bottom and that rusty chainsaw must have been horrific. Yes, Mark, I'm talking to you if you're out there. Fuck you too.
But I mean, I often find people who are so quick to go, "You've done wrong, you must be punished," and the punishment doesn't fit the crime, if there is a fucking crime. These are people who are like, "Shit, I've got bodies in the basement and I don't want to be caught. How do I get people to look the other fucking way?" Yeah. So they go after shit like this. And you know what? I would have had more respect for Dynamite if they had turned around to those people and said, "No, we told you this is what we're doing and we're sticking to it. If you don't want it, don't fucking buy it." You first, Captain.
I said this to Rotten Glory earlier on.
Yeah.
Dynamite may well have lost some creators if they'd stuck with that campaign. Right? So fucking what? What they would have done is they would have shown some level of support for what Comicsgate stands for, which is essentially anti-censorship. That's it. That's it. Nothing else.
Yes.
We just want to draw stories. We just want to write stories and make them look cool. Yeah. That's all we want to do. We don't want people telling us what we can and cannot talk about, because it's normal. Like, just discussing things and having a conversation is a properly good thing to do.
Absolutely.
And if he had lost some of those creators, you know what? So fucking be it. Because what he would have gained, and Dynamite would have gained, is a small stable of creators within Comicsgate that were probably better than the ones he already had.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
because I
said earlier that I think it's a case of, Twitter don't buy comics.
No.
Twitter doesn't buy comics, but there is something to be said that the people that are on there that are CG or similar or indie, in that in that frame of mind do buy comics, and there is actually a very large market out there that are buying CG comics. And if you're all about business, then you really ought to be trying to tap that market, because there's not a lot of it to go around if you go and look at the sales figures at the moment.
Just look at Ethan. Cyberfrog alone, it must have crossed as a property. Like, so forget about comics, but as a property.
Speaking of which, got that today from Ethan.
Oh, I've got one of them. Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah,
that's the
fucking loved it.
Vespa.
The Wrecked Planet email list exclusive promo card.
What I don't understand about that's the only thing I don't understand about his comic books is that the bad people are named after shitty little Italian scooters. That's the only. It might be the New Jersey in him. He might have had to do it. I don't know. He might be contractually obliged by the mob. But yeah, a Vespa. It's beep beep. I was going somewhere, wasn't I? I'm sure I was.
You were. You'll get there soon. Don't you worry.
We were talking about Dynamite and EVS and
yeah. So if you look at EVS as a whole, like, forget about his comics. I know one of them's just cost $1 million fucking for one fucking book. Yeah, that's unheard of in the industry these days. As a property, it must be edging. It must be getting close to $2.5 million.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to come from that. Like, he's been working on figures. He's been working on he's already working on the next book after whatever this one's called. I forgot what the next one's called.
Wrecked Planet.
Wrecked Planet. That's the motherfucker. Yeah. And he's done 2 small ash cans. He's done side comics to support all of that as well. Yeah. Again, I could have shown you some of them if I'd known all this stuff was coming up.
It's just hideous that a talent like, and he is incredibly talented. There's no doubt that he is a Marmite character. And there are times when, I can't listen to him whinge. But there are also times when I find him, very, he really sort of gets my blood pumping, from a creative perspective, because he's really so into what he does, and he is very much an entertainer. And for someone like that to be demonized simply because they don't have the same ideology as a few people in the mainstream, it just doesn't sit well with the way that I was brought up. Do you know what I mean? The way I was educated by my parents and what have you was always to be fair-minded, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to listen to other opinions. And to see that retroactive behavior and kind of chase people out of the industry in the way that they've done, or tried to chase people out of an industry, an ever shrinking one that is, I just don't understand it. It's beyond my understanding. I don't understand how these people think. And I, for the longest time now, I've been watching the state of the industry, watching what's been going on with Comicsgate, and seeing people just screaming, they're a hate group, they're this, they're that, they're the other, and bumping into people from Comicsgate and them all being very nice and kind, and them being of various different sexualities and races as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, how can they be these things that they're being accused of being?
But
I just don't understand the whole. It's difficult for me to get my head around, because I just don't approach life or business in that way. I can't understand it.
Have you noticed that the people who were screaming Comicsgate is a hate group, Comicsgate is a hate group, have you noticed how they scream it, but they never actually produce any evidence to back up the claim?
No,
it's fucking strange, that.
It's all just screaming at the ether, as it were. And I've said this because obviously much like Rob, I did my bit in comics. I sort of approached Marvel in the 90s and got taken on or was accepted as a penciler then, and it just didn't happen for me back then. Mm-hmm. I went away, I had a career, I was an art director, and I had my own business and all the rest of it. When the time came, I came back in 2010 and I started working my way up.
Can I just, you're going to love this, Lucifer. Can I just stop you there for a second? If you want to know the rest of this story, go onto my channel. You can see my interview. Sorry, carry on.
As I started working my way up, and I've been in business. I've fucking been in business. I know what it's about. And to see an industry like the comics industry acting in the way that it is right now is completely beyond me. I just don't understand.
It's mad. I think I can answer both Brianna's question that she brought up a second ago and you on that, Russ. And the simple answer to that question is the creators that work in the comic book mainstream industry do not care about you, the fan.
Yeah.
I will also.
I'll touch your elbow. We can do that. We can do that if you want.
There we go. Come on, guys.
I find also that a lot of them are not passionate enough about comics.
No, they don't care.
It's kind of like a stepping stone to go other places. Whereas back in the day, you know, people were passionate about what they did. They were craftsmen, they were draftsmen, they were writers, they were creators, and they were passionate about comics.
Yes.
Not anything else, not the paraphernalia, not taking it to a movie or comics. And I think that's lacking in the industry.
Who was it recently from the mainstream who they've been doing a sci-fi book and it got picked up by the Sci-Fi Channel? Surprise, surprise. You all know the quality of the Sci-Fi Channel. If you go and watch anything about sand sharks or tornadoes in space, they're fucking great. But the normal sort of stuff that they try and make is shit. But whoever it was, they got 3 episodes. Well, they weren't. They were given a series. They filmed 3 episodes, aired 3 episodes, and sacked it off.
Yeah.
And during the filming of one of them, one of the male characters was moaning about something, turned around to a lady and said, who are you? What are you doing here? And she went, I created you! So the story goes.
Oh my god!
That's the mainstream comics. They don't give a shit about comics. They don't give a shit about the fans. All they want is a Netflix deal. All they want is to be the next fucking farm that Hollywood's going to pick up because that's where the fucking money is.
And they don't seem to realize that if they want to get that, their first step is to give a shit about comics. And to give a shit about creating great fucking comics. Because if you create a great fucking comic, then other people will come along and go, we can do something with this. I'm not a fucking fortune teller, but the way that EVS is going with Cyberfrog, I would not be surprised if in the next year or so he gets some sort of offer put on the table of like, hey, let's turn this into a fucking cartoon. Let's do something with this. It's bound to fucking happen. It almost happened back when he was first doing Cyberfrog. He's talked about it on some videos before.
He has,
He knows
but
what he's doing.
That's a side effect. Yeah. It's a side effect of a quality product.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I mean, you look at all the current greats, as it were. You look at things like Preacher. You know, the only reason that was made was because the comic book was so damn good.
Damn fucking straight it was.
All of the greats you see at the moment, you know, Gaiman and what have you, is because they put the effort in and created quality comics. They didn't just like turn up there and use it as a stepping stone. It happened to be a stepping stone, but that was not why they were there, or it doesn't appear to be why they were there.
Am I all right just to go for a pee?
Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah, I need a pee.
Go on.
2 seconds.
Well, don't worry, we'll be here when you get back.
So whilst. Well,
no, now,
quick, just end the stream and don't tell him. So how about this? Whilst the captain is draining the snake, for want of a better phrasing, Russ, what have you read that you would like to talk about and share with us? I haven't
actually read much because I thought we were just doing the interview. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the book that sits on my desk regularly, which is Essential Fantastic Four.
Oh, lovely.
Number 6, which has a fabulous picture on the front of Doctor Doom and the Thing. And it's got a whole bunch of John Buscema and Joe Sinnott artwork in it, which is absolutely bloody fabulous. So if you don't ask me about the stories because I can't remember them. No, there's an absolutely... There's a brilliant Doctor Doom story. There's a fantastic Galactus story. I remember this image as a child reading the reprints in Captain Britain Weekly. Such an inspiration for my work. This stuff, absolutely brilliant. If you can get any of these essentials, go and buy them.
They are fantastic. I've got a couple of them myself.
What's that?
And I would definitely have, if I was having dinner, I'd have although what CB said earlier was fantastic, 3 people, but I would go with Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, as long as I could stop them from killing each other, and Jim Starr. And I would want all of those 3 to talk to me about comics.
Not just me who's a superhero. Russ wants to save lives too.
Damn fucking straight. And I just want to bring up this comment from Brianna. Not caring about the fans and wanting all the money seems like the most wonky equation I've ever seen, like mega counterproductive, but maybe that is just me.
No, it's all of us as well.
It's not just you, Brianna. Is it just us? Apparently not.
Is it just us?
It's not. That's the thing. It's not. It's entirely counterproductive. But you are seeing the results of that happening, unfolding in front of your very eyes. The reason, like, Comicsgate shouldn't have to exist.
No.
Like, it doesn't. The world doesn't need Comicsgate, but comics does now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And hello, Comicsgate. We'll play the Ethan game. I win.
Hello, Comicsgate.
Yeah, hello.
Yep.
Hello,
Comicsgate.
Thank you.
Right. I need to
Captain.
Yo.
You've been well.
What books have you been reading lately? Or book, as the case may be.
Hang on 2 seconds. I just spilled something.
He's dived off into
He's disappeared into
box of books.
As I asked him that question, he went into another dimension. Oh, and he's back.
There you go.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, what's going on?
Has he got some cookies?
No. He's clearly a thirsty lad.
Hey.
Oh, that looks nice.
I do have some books that are in front of me, but I need this first. Hang on. And it'll make sense again. I was already reaching it before you asked the question, but it makes even more sense again when you see it. When you see the books I'm going to talk about.
I'm looking forward to this because every time you promote books, I tend to reach for my credit card, and I'm like, "Shit, not again! Not again! They're gonna fucking hate me."
I can give you. I was going to say I can give you a relapse, but I won't give you a relapse or a prolapse this week. But I'll give you a slight rest.
All I'm gonna
ask you to do this week is press a big pink button.
What's new?
Right,
and Brianna quickly said, sorry, I am new to the world of comics, and what a time to join in I have seemed to have chosen.
Yes,
Brianna,
indeed.
I get it, but it's cool. Like, as Captain was saying earlier, like he's fairly recent to comics as well. You found the right path. That's the main thing. Don't you worry.
I'll say this. Brianna, I'll ask her, Brianna, are you from the UK? Do we know that?
Yes.
She is, right, okay.
I don't know.
I'm asking. Brianna, I'm talking to you right now. Me to you. Yeah. From the UK.
Are you from the UK?
Let us know.
Right, while she replies.
Yes.
You ready, Russ? The comic book that I have read this week.
Oh,
he's green, isn't he? He's green. I forgot about that.
Seeing straight
He's
through.
green. He's green. Look. Oh no, you can't see me. So
that's weird.
This is the Tatty Boggle Man. That's fucking scary, isn't it? This is the Tatty Boggle Man by William Crawford Hazel.
Who is someone else we've got to try and get on this show?
My good buddy. Oh, I can sort that out.
Yeah, Willie. Go have Willie on.
We can sort Willie out.
Willie is a fabulous creator.
Fucking right.
Absolutely brilliant.
This book came with these.
Oh yeah.
And indeed is nearby. I'm from the Netherlands. Well, okay. Look, if you have any type of British sensibility and humour and stupidness, I think is a good word. Come and check out. Go and have a look at my channel, Captain Fuckhead. There is no C. No, there's no C. That's not true. There's no U in Fuckhead because there's no U in me.
There's no you in me.
On your YouTube, if you look at my recommended channels, you'll find Comicbook, Charlie's London. You'll find a bunch of people from the UK who are doing some interesting stuff with streaming and comics and things like that. We do a little show on a Wednesday called Carry On Streaming. So yeah, Ross was right. It's Carry On Films basically. Yeah. And we just talk about comics and have a laugh. Like, it's proper comics. It's not None of this drama, none of this bollocks, none of this cancel culture, no fucking any, just
comics.
funny, just have a chat.
Just the good shit.
So this, by William Crawford Hazel, if I open this bit up, you can see it's a 3D comic. You can't, because then it is. It's a 3D comic, and I can prove it's a 3D comic because in the second half of the book, it's in regular 2D for those of you who have shit eyes. Of course, I'm a superhero, you see. I can see in 3D anyway, so I get to read this comic without the glasses, which is why they are not even out of the packet.
It's like
he doesn't even need to open the cover.
But here's the thing about this book. Right? First of all, it's great, but it's a short story. It's a short story. It's actually a fucking ashcan.
Yeah.
Essentially, this was a book you got free when you ordered his other books. So, more importantly, what we will say is the other books with this. Ailsa Dark.
Yes.
Werewolves and Bampots. #1. And...
Number two.
Now, I know that I'm not going to open the second one, but I'll open the first one because the second one's got story stuff. There's things going on. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
And the conclusion is up on Indiegogo.
Yeah, the conclusion is up on Indiegogo. Go
the link to which is in the description box down below, along with a link to Captain Fuckhead's channel.
There we go.
And you will get all 3 parts in one go.
Don't click the links yet. Wait till the end of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Wait till the end.
Right, so, and I can tell you, so this raised about $3,500 on the Indiegogos. And Wally, my mate, who's also co-hosts my Thursday show when I talk to creators and delve deep into their pants. Wally is a fellow Scot. He's from Dundee. He's a fantastic artist. Look at this. So, more green, Wally. You should fucking plan these things out better, mate.
Didn't he get the fucking memo?
I mean, he's a boomer, really, to be fair, so he doesn't understand green screens. But it's a book. It's a book.
It's definitely a book.
It's very soft and nice. Like you can rub it on your cheek, and it's pretty. So he had about, I think it was 86 backers in total in the end. Raised about $3,500, I believe. And they're fantastic. They're superbly well written. The quality of the book, the stock of the book is lovely. Like I said, it's got a soft, almost velvety feel to the cover. It's very sexy. It's very sexy. And it's about this lady here, Ailsa Dark, who she basically manages the gateway between our world and the other world.
Oh, the other world.
Oh yeah, sounds like my kind of thing.
All the way through this book, Wally. I'll start with Wally. Wally's a big fan of that old sort of Hammer horror, that kind of stuff. You know, when you have multiple narrators, nothing you ever seeing on the screen is ever really what's actually happening. Well, that sums this book up perfectly. There are 3 narrators, one being Ailsa Dark, one her partner in fighting off the ghouls, a guy called I can't say it. I wish I could, but I can't. It's an Asian name. I just don't know how to say it right now without reading it. I apologise, whatever his character. No, we've got to find it now. I can't do that. That's unfair.
Well, whilst you're looking for that, I thought I'd bring this up. Brianna says, I'm going to need all the guidance. All I've read so far is Asterix and ElfQuest. Oh, and the start of Saga now. But there are so many comics out there.
I dig.
There are, and we have them. We have some previews for you at the end of the show.
Oh yeah,
excellent.
Of some other great comics.
Damn straight.
Where is he? I've got him. Like he's that's him there.
There you go. That one.
I can't find his name, but him. That one.
The one with the face.
That one. He is her partner, Ailsa's partner, in fighting the ghouls and the werewolves and all the people. But nothing, and he's also one of the narrators. We don't know who the other narrator is yet, but nothing that happens in these books is what you think is happening on these books. These are fantastic. Like I would say, so I showed you this one earlier.
Yep. Good old Mary.
At the time when I got this, Mary Boys was my favourite comic book that I'd been part of funding on Indiegogo, where I got more than one book at a time.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Sorry, Chubb. But not anymore. Chubb knows I love his books. Like I was published in one of them, for fuck's sake. How can I not love them?
Yeah.
But you know, Wally's books. I mean, and I'm not a fan of horror. Like I will not watch horror films. I don't want to be scared. Like why would I want that in my life?
You're speaking to the wrong person. Love horror.
Oh, and no, look, like if you're into it, like it's cheap thrills. But if you're into it, fine. Like I ain't got a problem with you. Like you can be into whatever you wish.
You be you.
Yep.
So what have you been reading, Lucifer?
Fantastic. Well, remember a few weeks back, I said if I wanted to review a Comicsgate book, I had to be fair. And yes, I read that awful You Brought Me the Ocean. Yes. Why did I do it? And then I did Cyberfrog Blood Honey. And then I realized, no, I'm not actually being fair to these people unless I go back
to the other side
and give the same harsh criticism to a couple of my own books from the past.
Interesting.
So this is issue 1 of Jericho, which I've mentioned before. This is actually a variant cover because the
Ladies
original.
And gentlemen, I'm sitting here right now trying to give Lucifer a full screen and realizing I'm not the fucking host.
Would you like me to go full screen? Would you like me to do a bit of it? Is it this one?
Yeah, I want to see.
Fucking hell.
Top left of you, where you see you, the top left, there'll be a big like a big button. Top left in your corner.
The big
Just
button.
Press on that and it'll give.
There
you go.
Is it that one? There we go.
Boom.
So yes. So this came out back in 2011. I'd been working on it since 2010. Like I said, this is the variant cover. When the first printing was done, and it was the first cover, there were only 100 of them. They were all hand numbered and signed, and they went within 24 hours, which was absolutely fantastic. And I was like, I've got to do it. I've got to pull this out because I don't even have one of the original cover. I do, but it's in a frame. Didn't want to take that, so I found this, and then I opened it up, and I was like, oh my god, this is a kind of embarrassing. But there is something there. You'll love the fact that there's an advertisement for a movie called Ruff the Violent Vicar.
Nice.
Right at the beginning.
I'm digging that.
And let me tell you, I'm really glad that I went over this because it showed me how far I'd come. I mean, that was some of the artwork I had done for the book. And this was before I really knew how to write stories. So this was dialogue heavy as well. I never got to finish the book though. I only illustrated up to issue 8, and it was meant to go up to issue 10.
Oh, I thought you were going to turn a page there and it'd be blank.
But
that was my plan for my first book was to douse the book in LSD. So you have to read the first 4 pages, and then the next 44 pages you just had to make up.
That would be fucking amazing. Highly illegal, but fucking amazing. But yeah, I am going to be fair. I'm glad that my artwork has come leaps and bounds since this, but this will always have such a special place in my heart. And I keep saying it, I will finish this story one day. But I think in order to do that, I've got to re-illustrate what's already come before. And knowing what I know now about storytelling, because this really shows that back when I started, I didn't have a fucking clue when it came to storytelling, especially in comics. But I gave it a go. And when this came out, people really fucking dig it. I still get messages now from people who read those first 8 issues and they're like, so when's issue 9 coming out? It's been a few years. So it will happen at some point, but I got to deal with Lady Satan first.
Yeah. Look, that's a trade paperback Indiegogo campaign if ever I've seen one.
Yes, absolutely, man. And this little book was something very different. This isn't even the issue of this series that I wanted to find. This is issue 2. I couldn't find my copy of issue 1. I'm not even sure if I've got a copy of issue 1. This is different to what I normally did. This is a more humorous book about 4 stuffed toys who are owned by a 5-year-old girl. And
is that dog doing that squid?
Go on, Russ.
I think Russ is on a different stream.
He's in a different dimension.
That dog doing that squid.
Oh no, he's not. He's not doing him. He's jumping out from him. But he could be doing him. That would explain his expression.
It looks like Pikachu's trying to scare me.
That big dog.
But this was this was for mature readers only.
You can't tell that by the cover.
Oh, right,
no. But when you see some of the stuff that happens in here, in this issue, the
I'm
4
not picking my
toys.
nose. Itchy.
This one, who's called Scotty because he's Scottish. It's Valentine's Day. He's really sad because he's thinking about his long lost love. So to cheer him up, the other 3 toys order him a mail order bride from Russia.
Scotty.
It's post Jim, but not as we know it.
So
come on, that joke deserves more fun than that. Come on, you remember the what was the fucking 80s song, 1986? Star trekking across the universe.
No.
It's space, Jim, but not as we know it. It's post, Jim, but not as we know it. There we go.
I had to use this at some point. I forgot to use it earlier when you said Comicsgate. So yeah, I wanted to find the first issue of this book because I only did 2 issues. Because in the first issue, it wasn't just the story that I wanted to go over. I also wanted to show you what it's like when I make a complete 32-page comic book in 1 week. From beginning to end. This one's a slightly shorter page count, but I looked at it and I was like, you know what? Once again, the storytelling is kind of terrible, but there's something there. So maybe I'll return to this property at some point in the future. I mean, to be honest, it was just most of the pages are, okay, the toys need a way to get rid of this Russian mail order bride before the parents come home. So they try different things, such as hiring a hitman to try and get rid of them, trying to sell her off to a kebab shop as mystery meat and things like that. And just, the humor in this got pretty harsh at one point. Let me see if I can find it. There's a bit where this love-struck octopus, I don't know how well you can see that, he's describing his long-lost love. People are going to hate me after this. And he just says, you see, before we all met, I was with this lovely bit of skirt. She was the best wife and brother an octopus could ask for. She had perfect eyes, body and hair. She was like a fleshlight that cried, and no one could smoke a pipe like she could, I tell you. So, have I ever told you how proud my parents are? My parents are of me, by the way. So, yeah.
You know what? We talk about cancel culture and all that sort of stuff. It really sounds like someone I know, or someone a lot of comics gators will know, who is happily anti-CG.
So, yeah, once again, another book where I was like, there's something there, but it's good to look back at it and go, I've definitely come leaps and bounds from this point.
I quite like the idea that when she actually eventually arrives, they realise they didn't get it from Russia and they got it from China, and all they had to do was blow her up and then pop her. It wasn't a real person at all. It was just a blow-up doll.
Unfortunately, that's not what happened in the story, mate.
Or they got it from Japan and it's basically just Terminator.
Just starts chasing them down.
I'm not picking my nose. It's itchy.
So yeah, I am going to be honest. I would not say that these are my best work. There is definitely some improvement needed on these, but I've kept at it and I've kept improving along the way. So there you go. I now feel that I have been fair to all the books that I review, past and future.
Collector's items.
Yes. And now everyone's gone really quiet. And all of a sudden they're like, shit, why am I on
One of the
show?
things I love about you, Lucifer, is the fact that you are, you try to be, I think is the best way to put it. You try to be very balanced in your view about I mean, look, I'm slightly biased. I am Comicsgate. I don't care. If you wish, there is a video floating around that says, I am the leader of Comicsgate. I will be if that's what you require. I'm that kind of a hero. I will assume responsibility if I have to. I don't particularly want to. I'd rather just get drunk.
Yeah.
But, look, you are one of the things I love about this show as well is the pair of you are very, very fair about your assessment about what's going on in the mainstream, what's going on in indie comics, and it's a nice thing. Like it's good. It's all positive. The fact that you can rip the shit out of your own work's good as well. That's another good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, at the end of the day, if I don't do it, someone else is. So I might as well get there first and go, look, this is how I feel about it.
That's exactly why I showed you the shit drawing that I did in Chubb's book, because if I didn't, one of you two would have shown it.
And like when I worked on Jericho, when I got the first 100 printed and they came back to me, one of the first things I did is I sat there and I read it as, oh, I'm excited, I finally did it, my very first comic book. And then I gave it a few minutes, had a cigarette, came back, and I tore it apart. And I was like, right, these are where my weaknesses are. So on issue 2, that's what I've got to improve on. That's what I've got to focus on improving. And
not
that's
enough of that happens anymore.
No, but that's what people need to do. I haven't even finished like Lady Satan yet, and I'm already looking at certain pages and going, no, that's a weakness. I need to do something about that, and just changing bits.
Do you want to talk about tearing it apart? Okay. So we talked about Comic Mark earlier on in his campaign, the Adventures of Kim Il-sung and Best Career. Incidentally, if you've not checked this comic book out yet, I advise you to. It's sorry, I'm shilling again. It's second nature now.
Don't apologise. You keep going.
It's basically it's an alternative history that explains how and what happened after Kim Il-sung single-handedly defeated Japan in the Second World War. That's the synopsis of it, right? But there's several different ways you can back it. If you don't like me, or you don't like Comic Mark, or you don't like communism, you can indeed buy a burn the book tier. Of course, you will save on shipping. You can indeed buy the original comic book still, and you can buy the Ethan Van Sciver not chromium cover, where you get the original comic book wrapped up in tinfoil, and Mark writes the title on the tinfoil in black marker. Or, and I believe this is the very, very first of this particular model of the book. This is the Proletariat fanzine version of the book. I was the very first person to get it because, of course, I worked on the cover, which now means I'm the very last person to get all my other fucking books, prick. And you talk about tearing it apart. So the Proletariat version, there was only 20 of these available. I think there's still 4 left. But Mark prints these at home and staples them in his shed. I've read this book once. Look. That's not even the worst of it. It's in 3.
Is that the shed quarters?
No, the shed quarters belong to me. They are mine.
Right. Okay.
That's where I do reviews of comic books, in my shed quarters. Because normally, if the weather is nice, because what I like to do is, look, I did that for him as well. Look, there's a blockhead. You get this if you buy the comic book.
Oh, superb!
One of these.
Awesome.
If you've not seen one of these before,
that is cool.
This is a blockhead. That's of course.
Nice.
Oh wow!
Nice. That's fucking cool.
First thing as soon as I discovered blockheads, one of these.
Yeah.
Of me?
How do I get one of those?
Of me?
Yeah.
I'll figure something out. Don't worry. We'll figure something
Do
out.
it.
But yeah, you can get
awesome. That is awesome.
when you buy Mark's book, you get a blockhead version of Kim Il-sung.
That's fucking great.
Right. That's superb. You know what, mate? You've got to start selling out your design abilities on making those blockheads. Because I would put a blockhead in for death.
We can do something. They're not mine. Like the blockheads is it's blockheads.com. I believe it's block spelt normally, heads just HEDZ.com.
Oh, right. Okay.
You can download a template, and you can just do what you want with it. So this one,
so cool.
This one, although saying that, you do what you want with it. I did upgrade it because I gave mine a little cloak,
a little cape.
This one,
cape, yeah.
this is actually
nice pants.
Well, this was the original Captain Fuckhead. He originally wore a cape and had so he wears white flip-flops, white socks, a lycra skin suit.
Buddy smugglers.
Y fronts actually. Originally,
Y fronts. Oh,
yeah,
even better.
They're originally Y fronts. Do you want to see? Okay, I might be able to get it. Do you want to see one of the original Captain Fuckhead drawings?
Yes,
right,
definitely.
Okay. Hold on. So again, traditional. And this is one of the first drawings I did when I picked up drawing again.
That's fucking fantastic.
That's the Sunday morning of the Saturday night out at the beach.
It's sexy. Yes.
That's fucking brilliant.
So the whole origin of Captain Fuckhead is I was sitting watching the film with Mrs. F, as I call her now, which is shouldn't really, but I do. And I think what happened was I farted, or I either farted or I said something stupid, and she hit me with a book and said, "You're such a fuckhead," and that's how I was born.
Fair enough. What an origin story that is.
That's fantastic.
That's how Captain Fuckhead came to be. And here I am now again, sitting in a plastic mask. It's not plastic. No, actually, that's unfair. This was originally it still is plastic, but it was originally a Batman cowl, but a mask.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was going to say Ben Stiller Batman, but it's not Ben Stiller, is it? It's Ben Affleck.
What a different film that would have been.
Fucking hell, imagine the outrage people would have fucking had if it was like, and here's your new Batman, Ben Stiller.
No, that would have been so much better. Imagine crossing Batman with, what was the character he did from the fashion world? That would have been gold. Zoolander. Batman versus Zoolander.
He's got his Batman cowl on, but does the whole...
Yeah. Oh, it'd have been amazing. I'm so mad.
What do you call this? A school for ants?
Pow.
So yeah, that's what this was. It was just a Ben Affleck like half head mask that I took a Dremel to, some paper mache, and some spray paint and a bit of varnish, and a pair of tights for the eyes.
Damn, you're so damn talented. That's
I am.
fantastic.
No, honestly, if you see this in real life, it looks like leather. It's that sexy.
Right, that's so cool.
It looks sexy regardless, good sir.
And when I can get a decent camera, I can have a decent resolution. You'll see just how sexy.
See,
nice.
Just want to feel it.
Phrasing. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of the show. This has probably been one of the longest episodes that we've done.
It has, and
by far,
and the best.
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. And Captain, it's been fucking awesome having you on the show, and I hope that we get to do this again in the future.
Oh mate, no, we can do this. We can do this whenever you want. Just hit me up, let me know. It's been an absolute pleasure. Like, so I said earlier on, you mentioned in CG UK. So, like I said previously, I kind of met Commie Mark because of Not Daredevil from people reading it. When I'd already been speaking to the likes of Peter Gilmore and John Hayes, who's a phenomenal artist, and a few others in the UK. But we spend a lot of our time when we're on Twitter just looking for people in the UK that are into independent comics that haven't been what's the word I'm looking for? That haven't been I don't know. That haven't been manipulated by the weirdos out there to think that Comicsgate is a fucking hate group. Like, it's so far from the actual reality. It's unbelievable. So we spend a lot of our time looking for people in the UK just to talk to about comics. Like, that's all we want to do. And say, look, this is a great book.
it used to be the case that comics were very underground in the UK. You were kind of like you were on the edges, as it were, with comics, and that there's this kind of there's this core in the comics industry in the UK that are quite, just say, elitist, and it's difficult to crack. It's very difficult to crack, and so what it's the real talent, or the real engine house, as it were, engine room of creativity is the stuff on the outside, and that's kind of what you're picking up. You're picking up those people that aren't in the elite sections, as it were.
We're trying to get hold of anybody. Like if you're on Twitter, you are in the UK, find me at Captain Fuckhead. There's no you, because there is no you in me. Find me. If you're in the UK, I'll hook you up. I'll put you in a DM group with a bunch of other UK comic book lovers. Like, it's a shame that Lucifer doesn't use Twitter, because if he just used Twitter just to be in that DM group, he'd have a whale of a fucking time.
Yeah.
Hey,
sort yourself out.
Maybe things will change. Maybe things will change.
Even tonight, I was waiting for a link, and I was like, oh, maybe Russ will send the link, because Lucifer doesn't use fucking Twitter. And it got to 10 minutes to 8, and I was like, well, I've helped Rotten out. He forgot that I wasn't supposed to be there tonight, but I still helped him out because I'm a nice guy. I'm a hero. I
was there as well, and I jumped off the same time you did.
Yeah, and then it got to 10 minutes to 8, and I was like, oh, there's no fucking link. What's Ross doing? Ross must be sending. And then I went, fucking Instagram. I hate Instagram. But there was the link in the DM on Instagram.
You hate Instagram, and I hate Twitter.
I did DM you with a link eventually.
I tell you, the reason why I hate Instagram isn't. There's two reasons why I hate Instagram. First of all, it's full of fucking rich millennials who just want to show off wealth. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Country are.
Yeah.
Or as we'd say in Scotland, prick the yar!
Get it, fuck.
Get it, fuck, yeah, we prick.
Fuck.
People keep telling me I don't do a Scottish accent. There you go. You've heard it. I do have one when I want to.
That is an awesome one.
And then, but the biggest problem I have with Instagram is I can't drop a fucking link. I can't say, look at this great book.
No, I know, it's really annoying.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
You have
because
to put
they want you to do. They want you to do that via Facebook. That's why, and I refuse to use Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook.
Don't blame you, mate.
Awesome. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, no. So yeah, I'm going on that parlay as well, and I've not been able to upload an image since I've been on it.
I've heard that too.
Frustrating.
I've heard that too. But
so it stopped me from doing anything, because all I really do is just post images and repost comic book stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but the thing is, the way I see it now is, if you're involved in comics, or however you are, I'm working on flats. I'm doing graphics work for other books. I'm doing stuff for Comicbook. Like a year ago, I never ever expected to be working in comics, and I'm fucking working. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say I'm working in comics, but I'm doing stuff for comic books. I'm contributing to creativity, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I didn't think it's not something I thought I'd be doing.
Yeah.
But you've got to go where the audience is, and the audience is basically Twitter and YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, I got the YouTube.
Indie comics.
Yeah.
YouTube is Twitter and YouTube.
YouTube has become this amazing platform now for comics and for art in general.
That's both kind of tickles my balls and kicks me in them at the same time.
because you can connect with people in a way you can't connect on the other social platforms.
But there's also it's YouTube.
I know. It's got its downside.
Believe you me, I've got my issues with YouTube. I mean, the last show that we did last week, I was watching those views tick up. It got to 95 views, and then like that, YouTube went, "Nah, you won't have 25 of those. We'll just take them away." And it was like, "What the fuck? What?
Really?
Why?" Yeah,
I didn't know they're taking views.
We got to 95 views. Refresh the page. All of a sudden, it's fucking 70 views.
Wow,
Wow,
I didn't
really?
know that.
They
That's new.
keep doing that to my videos. They've been doing it for a fucking time.
I don't know what happened in the last week, but I got 25 new subscribers in a week,
Fucking
which is a lot for me.
nice.
That's a lot. That's a huge amount for me. 25 subscribers. I don't know how that went down. I'm sure it must be something to do with the fact that I'm hanging out with the captain.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
And with
Rotten,
Rotten, and with if you go over onto, have you been over onto Rotten Glory's show, Lucifer?
I haven't been on his show.
No. What I mean, going over, I love that show. I think it's great because they sit and chat about stuff, and there's always something in. Someone's always got an interesting opinion. There's always something to listen to. I really like that show.
I'm killing my fucking drawing. Sorry.
And at present, I'm getting free advertising from that lovely man. So
Can't knock that, mate.
I mean, to be fair, that pitch was gold, mate.
Thanks. I hadn't practiced it that day. That was the pitch that I put together right from the start, and I'll continue to use it. That's the pitch that will eventually go into the pitch video. So
that pitch was gold. It's like everyone that asked me, they go, "Who is Ross Leach? How have you found him?" And this is. We got distracted there from the end of the show, didn't we? And now we're down a tangent. What I was going to say about that was actually it's been my pleasure to be on, because actually when I go and I look for all these people in the UK and Europe who are into comics, and I just want to talk to them and show them this great stuff that's out there. When I found you two, I was fucking blown away. I was like, these guys are already doing it, but I think they're missing a thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think you were right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know again, there's that kind of bias that people already have. They go, "Oh, fucking Comicsgate, whatever it is." Like if you go and have a look at what's going on in Comicsgate, like even if you're not convinced by some of the people, look at the numbers.
Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah, the numbers are insane.
Yeah.
Everybody I've bumped into so far have been very professional, very courteous.
Yes.
And very kind with their time as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why would you have something against these people? I think I can only go on experience, on what I see in front of me, and I've got no truck with the people that are describing this group as a hate group. It doesn't make any sense to me, because everybody I've spoken to has been totally human to me.
The weird thing is, and Wally will testify to this. Wally, my mate who does this, Elsa Dark Werewolves and Vampires, and
link to their Indiegogo campaign
in the description
down below.
Sign up for Elsa Dark Werewolves and Vampires. The conclusion, where you will still be able to get book 1 and book 2. It's true. Yep. I can also say that there is another book. There is another book in the same world, in the pipeline, being worked on right now. So I found Wally and I dragged him into the whole CG UK kind of thing. And that's where we ended up doing this Thursday show that we do on my channel, where we talk to creators about how they go about making books, how they create, things that they enjoy, how they got into comic books, all that kind of stuff. You can see that. Just go and look for the playlist, the Comicsgate interviews. There's plenty of people.
They are fucking great.
There's some fucking heroes on there, like Vinny Tartanelli, like Russ Leach, like Art T. Bear.
Oh, Artie Bear. What a bloke. What a guy.
That one was fucking amazing.
There we go.
That was great. That was a really,
we brought him up
really
earlier.
interview.
Narwhal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mr. Peter Gilmore.
If we could speak to Narwhal, that would be great. And Peter, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll do what I can do.
Bless you.
Thanks, mate.
Bless you. You're a good man.
Thank you, Brianna. Thank you, Brianna, for subbing. Thank you.
There we go. So, I found Wally, and I was like, look, come on, I want to promote your book. Do you mind me using the Comicsgate hashtag? And he was like, yeah, use whatever hashtag you want. Like, who the fuck are you weirdo?
Don't give a shit.
I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. Come on over here. Come and see my friends. Come and be my friends. And he came over, and then within, he hung up. He was hanging out with us for about a month. And then I was having a chat with him, and we have a big gay chat on the CG UK thing on a Sunday evening. And he turned around and he said, look, if you're into indie comics, how are you not Comicsgate?
It does seem to be that way, doesn't
it? Yeah.
And that sticks with the back. So there's two things that I've heard from people that I know in CG. and that stick in my back of my head. That's one of them. The other one was from a beautiful, 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 sexy Spanish man called Ibe Canales. Who I heard a Scottish lady on the radio today speak to somebody called Sarah Canales, who was a reporter from Spain, and then she called her Sarah Canals.
Oh, not on.
But anyway, eBay Canales, one of the busiest men in Comicsgate, does a hell of a lot of fucking artwork. He's working with a guy from CG UK at the moment. He's been involved with your boy Zach. He's the artist behind Iron Sights and Iron Sights 2. And he told me in one of the interviews, great interview, again, available, check the playlist, Comicsgate interviews. He told me, don't make it good, make it cool.
Yes, I keep hearing you saying that, and that always sticks with me.
It's a great quote.
That's
a great quote. Yeah.
So those are the two things from my investigation into Comicsgate that stick in the back of my head always.
And they're going to stick in the back of my head.
I think it's just a case of, like you were saying, we try to be open-minded and fair-minded, and just all the people that we're bumping into from that side of the aisle, as it were, have all been thoroughly decent. Yeah. So
they've all been fantastic.
I'll mix with who the fucking hell I want to mix with. I read what the hell I want to read.
Damn fucking straight.
Opinions I damn well want, and nobody's gonna tell me otherwise.
Yeah, fucking right.
So That's
on the other
cool.
side of that coin.
That's cool. And I'm go on.
I was just going to say, on the other side of that coin is, if you're a dick, we'll call you a dick too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple.
Yeah, there's no harm in that. Let's just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Well, look, awesome. we're the type of DM group on Twitter that when we wake up, the first thing we type in the DM chat is, "What's up, Bumders?"
Because it's all love. It's a family.
Russ will testify to that. There's plenty of that goes on in our chat.
I've seen it, yeah.
Well, maybe I'll end up being a part of that. I mean, when I was on that, when I was on Commie Mark's show with you and 8 other fucking people, we talked about Twitter, and I walked away from that thinking, maybe I should give in and make a Twitter. And then, of course, when I woke up the next day, that was when they had that big hack go on. And they took down all the fucking blue check marks and shit. And I was like,
here's the thing. Like, Twitter as a whole is a fucking shit show. An absolute fucking shit show. Twitter
but what social media isn't?
Yeah, exactly. Twitter has its biases. It's going to behave the way it wants to behave. Yeah. All we can do is move in the circles that we move in on Twitter and be the people that we are on Twitter. Yeah. And all that Comicsgate does on Twitter, Comicsgate, like every other fucking group on this planet, we have our beefs, we have our fucking people that don't get on. So fucking what? Like I grew up in the 80s, but I grew up in the 80s, but I consider myself a 90s kid.
I get what you mean by that.
Today, I've been playing Space Raiders on a 48K ZX Spectrum. I said this earlier on. Like that's my childhood. But I grew up in the 90s. And in the 90s, I had a mate called Trevor who insisted I called him Trigger because in the pubs, it made everybody want to beat me up. Because they thought I said something else. Like that was the 90s. That's who we were. That's who we are.
Yes.
It's just a thing. Yeah. Like we don't give a shit. Racism, fucking sexism, we don't fucking care.
No.
We couldn't give a monkey's what you are. If you
that was the way it was back then. That was the way it was back then. That was just like I missed 1995 for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
It was just so perfect. It was so great. And nobody cared. It got to a point where, if you want to get heavy about it, obviously there are inequalities. Shit happens. There were things going on, and we'd gotten to a point in sort of the mid-90s where people had relaxed enough that they were just taking people on face value, and things were happening. Good things were happening, and it's just after 2005, it all turned to shit.
That's what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. People are fighting for the thing that existed 25 years ago.
That we already fucking had.
We know. Like we did it. We're the generation that fucking made that happen.
Yeah, and now you're calling us a bunch of cunts.
Well, I am.
A whole bunch or just one?
Just the one, mate.
A bunch would be amazing.
Big one. One big one.
one big one.
Yeah.
25 minutes later, since when Lucifer said he was going to end the show.
Yeah, so
that's
we're going to do it properly now. We're going to do it properly now. But before we end the show,
before we do anything,
yep.
Put me on share screen.
What? You mean like this?
No, share screen, not full screen.
Oh.
Fucking you're
fucking
not savvy, are you?
Oh, I know. What you mean that? There we go.
There you go. Right. Okay.
There it is.
Yes.
So Xenotype Volume 1. All right, go check this out. This is the book that the captain was talking about earlier. Look at this art. Fuck me.
Odie's
fantastic.
insane.
Absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Gorgeous stuff. Look.
Odie
he
is
is
insane.
Fantastic. Okay.
Spartan
go check out.
Doing the colours is phenomenal too.
Yeah.
He's a master colorist.
Go check out Not Daredevil from Comicbook. Sign up for that.
Oh, these are all caps books. This is great.
Look at this.
I'm getting chilled for a change.
Look at this. This is going to be gold. It's going to be hysterical. All right.
It's going to be fucking great.
This is me. Only Death Can Save Us. Go sign up for this. Remember, you sign up. Check the check boxes, and look, there you go. I've got some pages there. And make sure whenever you sign up for one of these email subscription lists that you check your inbox and do the check. Good. Do the confirm. And there you go. Here's my website. So you can get to the Indiegogo from the website, or you can download from here an 8-page preview with a cover.
It's 8 pages, not 9 pages like it says on the website. It's 8
below
pages and a cover.
The first 8 pages and a provisional cover. The first 8 pages,
9 pages,
and
how dare
provisional cover. There you go. So there you go. You can go read that there. And my book is going to be launched. The campaign for that will be launched on September 1. And I'll be sending out some email lists soon. So there you go. Excellent. You can turn that off now.
Fantastic.
Oh, one other thing before we go.
Yeah, go on.
Hold on. I'll just share. Hold on. Just share screen. Share screen. Start the share. Application window. Do that. Okay. I've got some artwork. So
there we go.
What's going on at the moment? There's a page from today. Okay, bit of action going on, and a bit of nut job action going on there. So that's what's going on with the book at the moment. The pencil pages will be finished next week.
Ooh, lovely.
I'm going to say this too. Like he does say on the website, it's a 9-page. It's not. It's fucking 8 pages in a cover. I'm going to hold his feet to the fire on that because that's what Comicsgate does. We hold.
I'm going to have to change that.
Right, but what I will say is those fucking 8 pages are bloody superb. If you get to the end of that 8th page, and the cover, not 9. If you get to that end of the 8th page and don't go, I need to read the end of the rest of this book. Like there's something wrong with you. Like those first 8 pages are like reading an abridged version of what was the fucking book by the man in the wheelchair?
A Brief History of Time.
A Brief History of Time by Mr. Stephen Hawking. Yes.
Stephen Hawking. Yes.
Yeah. Like it's like reading a bridge version of that for comic books. If that doesn't hook you, like honestly, there's something wrong with you.
It's a let me go. I'll do the pitch for anybody. Only Death Can Save Us is currently in production as a 60-page story, and
I can't find the next page.
Only Death Can Save Us is a Bronze Age-inspired cosmic fantasy romp, bringing together action and pathos as the ancient elemental known as Death leaps from his ethereal retirement to help a young soul protect her loved ones, her world, and even existence itself. The story firmly plants itself in the all-ages readership audience, with ex-Marvel editor Tim Quinn guiding the art and story duties of Doctor Who and Marvel artist Russ Leach, that's me, in a tale that is as many ways a love letter to the way comics used to be. Action and entertainment.
Bravo.
Yep. And I did that. Yeah, you need this book in your life. Period. Yes. And I did actually just share a screen with Lucifer.
Yes, this.
Look at that!
Like I can color. Like I can do it. Like it's
That's
true.
lovely.
That looks real nice.
I can do it. So this was a drawing by Mr. Mike S. Miller, and of course, like I say, the Joker is my favourite superhero. So there you go.
Cool. I can't wait to see what you do with the pinups, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
That's really nice, man. That's really nice. Well, guys, before we go, in turn,
Before we go, there's been another half an hour of random fucking...
Before we go, we're just going to talk shit some more, okay? but Captain, would you like to let everyone know where they can find you?
Yeah, hold on. First things first. Right, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can, of course, find me on YouTube at Captain Fuckhead. There's no space, obviously, and there's definitely no you, because there is no you in me. I stand on my own. You can find me on all three of those social medias. I don't tend to use Instagram unless I remember. Like, it's not a... I can't drop links. Like, that's my biggest... I just want to drop links to campaigns, and they won't let me, and that's unfair. You can, like, and if you want to talk to me about Comicsgate, if you want to talk to me about independent comics, I will talk to anybody. Even if you're a dick and you want to shout at me for 5 minutes, I will listen to you until you're a knob, and then I'll just ignore you. But I will talk to anybody about comics. I will talk to anybody about anything. Because that's how we further our cause. That's how we create.
That's how
ideas.
we grow.
That's how we move forward. Yeah. That's how we get more money in the pockets of creators who require it. That's how we make a fucking change.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, good stuff. Good
Vote
stuff.
Jeremy Corbyn 2016.
Russ.
Jeremy Corbyn, Jesus Christ.
Russ, do you want to let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, Jeremy Corbyn's a twat. Right, okay. Woolly's turned up. Woolly is here. Woolly has turned up.
Oh, Woolly! How the
What
devil
We were
are you,
shilling
sir?
your book.
What?
Yeah,
We were shilling your book all night.
It's an sound. It's an It's Wally.
Woolly.
Oh,
Wally.
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 You're going to say
Wally.
it in Scots.
Are you peached? Wally.
There you go, Wally.
We've been shilling your book all night, Wally.
We have indeed.
Okay, you can find me. You can find me at Comicbook Blackbelt on YouTube. You can find me at russleach.com. You can find me at comicbookblackbelt.com. You can find out about Only Death Can Save Us at onlydeathcansavus.com. And you can also sign up for my email list there, or you can sign up at the Indiegogo, where there is a pre-campaign page going at present. And I'll be live for a campaign 1st of September. You can also find me on the Twitter, on the Fleecebook. You can find me on Instagram, Minds, and Parlay. But they're shit because nobody goes there anyway. So see you around, and I will talk to anyone as well.
I'm still pretty sure it's called Parler.
Parlay. I don't know.
Hey, Parlay.
I can't upload images.
Hey, Parlay.
I can't upload images, so I don't like going there anyway. That's what I said earlier. I'm free.
I know, but you didn't check the replies before that. I beat you to it.
No, did you? Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't check. I don't give a shit.
I wish at that time I was Irish, because I would have been. Oh, I'm 33 and a third. Hail the Fenians.
And you can find me over at luciferstorm.com. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram. Maybe, just maybe, I'm being talked into Twitter at the moment. It's sounding better and better now that the captain's talked about it more. And hopefully by the end of this month, there will be a pre-launch campaign for Lady Satan and Angel in a Killer's Dress.
Yes.
One, I am going to warn people. I'm saying I'm aiming for the end of the month, but I'm also moving my studio towards the end of the month.
You can have an email address up for, I believe you can have an email address up for 6 months on Indiegogo. You've plenty of time, mate. Get it fucking done. Don't fucking be like my mate Hing, who says I'll do it tomorrow. Do it now. Get it done. Everybody wants it. The other thing Lucifer doesn't admit to on YouTube is that his first name isn't really Lucifer. It's Paul.
Pronounced way. And I do it. Funnily enough.
You sounded so professional when you said, I've got to move my studio.
I've got
to move my studio. I'll put it over there.
It's amazing how accents can change, isn't it? I have to move my studio.
Oh, yes, darling. Don't you know?
Oh.
I've got to do it soon.
I found her in the corner. She was stroking a pussy.
Well, guys,
let's get out of here quick.
That's the end of the show. We will be back next week. And until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and most importantly, stay awesome.
# vote Trump.